Okay, cool. Oops. Then let's continue with the next integrated module manufacturer. So we're really happy to have with us JinkoSolar and Lin Sun, who's the head of sustainable development at Jinko. She will also later be with us on the panel, and she will talk about sustainability facilitates the energy transition from bankability white paper to global ESG practice. So a full roundup. Lynn, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Michael. Just before I start, can you hear my voice while as I'm trying to prepare sharing my screens?
Loud and clear. All good.
Great. And I'm trying to share my screen here. And please let me know if you can see me here in the presenter mode. Just give me a second. Yes. How about now?
Not yet. Now here we are. All good.
Thanks. Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to the audience. And thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you, Michael, and for your team. Very happy to be here of this session. Some of the panel these speakers and keynote speakers we know very well before, some not yet. This is Lin Sun from JinkoSolar. I'm leading the team called Sustainability Development. We also have a bracket highlights on bankability topics I will touch upon later. So I have lovely 20 minutes. I try to keep it short and brief, make sure I bring some of the key message and we can leave some of the very interesting conversation to the second part of the panel discussion. The topic today I present here is about sustainability, but with the highlights on what is the deliverables, meaning the audience here joining the session want to have some key takeaways. What will you expect from us, from JinkoSolar, from other module manufacturers? The presentation, yes, but also something that you can trust and you can refer. So my content today is divided into the following three sectors. Let's say a very brief company profile introduction in case someone wanted to also interested in knowing Jinko for our latest development. Second highlights is about the sustainability and the bankability practice in terms of engaging with different stakeholders and certifications. Some of the activities are also very well covered by JinkoSolar, the similar practice, and also with the highlights echo to Rachel Owens about SSI. Last but not least, the third chapter is about experience sharing, one particular case study on the bankability white paper. So without further ado, a slide to introduce formally who we are. JinkoSolar Company is integrated solar module manufacturers, set up the company in 2006. We have shipped more than 350 gigawatts of modules by the end of the second half of 2025, enable us as being one of the top solar module manufacturer with very outstanding global share performance. But it's good to also worth mentioning that Jinko is expanding our business to ESS as well. So we are both recognized by BNEF as Tier 1 global energy storage manufacturer and PV manufacturers. In terms of our activities for energy storage, if you are interested, please do not hesitate to contact later. The topics here covers as well as sustainability. We start with our critical concept, manufacturing activity. It means as being a producer, we are responsible for sourcing, producing, and shipping our products. The map we present you here covers our manufacturing labs as well as our sales networks for PV and energy storage. We of course prioritize and our activities in China, domestic China, whereas we also sustain our overseas market and as well as our manufacturing facilities in United States, in Florida, in Southeast Asia, but also a very exciting joint venture in Saudi Arabia. Such global presence in manufacturing enables us the good market presence in all over the world, especially in key solar markets in Europe, Asia Pacific, America, and Middle East, Africa. I know today is not a presentation for promoting the products, but it's worth mentioning, same together with our fellows from China, we do actually advance our technology. It's in parallel a great achievement with our sustainability practice by offering a high power beam with a better performance in terms of the low irradiation performance and bifacial factors. Again, because I think it's not the key parts, but it's good to mention within the highlights of the advantage. I will just jump into my second chapter. The second focus will be what exactly did we do and achieved with the good and intentions of tangible deliveries. So first of all, when we talk about deliverables, we wanted to have an interface. Sometimes Chinese manufacturers focus a lot on work, but focus less on performance and result sharing. But I guess for project developers, for medias, for associations, for independent institutions or financing communities, that is a critical part. They should have a harmonized, just as Rachel says, a harmonized interface to evaluate the performance of the overall manufacturer's activities. So then we believe it's important to start with some of the well-known organizations like S&P, EcoVadis, MSCI, PV Tech, BNEF, Wood Mackenzie, etc. With all this good performance that Jinko has achieved, behind it is hard work. We know it's important to respect international standards. So we start with the big one, the globalized one, including the UN Global Compacts. We also a strong advocate for the UN Women. So all these daily operations are very well embedded in our code of conduct as well as our partner code of conducts. Meaning we take care of not only our internal in-house activities, but also our procurement and sourcing activities. With that in mind, some of the policies as the slide present here, the ESG policy, the label policy, and information security, business ethical analysis policies are all presented on our official website. Those are available. If not, those are also mentioned in our annual ESG reports. A very interesting program that we carried in 2025 and very excited to share with audience today is the ongoing ISO certification achievement. We believe it's important to have an embedded, or let's say, integrated ecosystems of different standards. So to the left side, we are working in parallel 3 international standards covering different perspectives. The first one is ISO 37301. Risk and compliance. In the middle, we have ISO 26000. It's in highlights on social responsibilities. Last but not least, we have ISO 2400. It's a very interesting parameter for sustainable procurement. So by now, the presentation, we already achieved the ISO 2400, and we believe we will both achieve the first 2 by the end of 2025. It's a good reference for some of the independent developers and investors to evaluate the performance of industry and leading suppliers. To the right side, we also believe working together with ecosystems are critical. So that's why I'm very excited to just have my presentation right after SSI Rituals. We were the supporter. We are the supporter, and I believe we are the supporter for SSI in the future for the activities covered for social audits and traceable audits. We put one slide medal here because one of our factory just been complete such a social labor audit with a silver medal. We, in parallel, believe it's important to cover our factories with different international standards as because we are targeting at global clients. SSI start within Europe, and now it's gaining reputation globally. It takes time. Whereas some of our overseas clients, let's assume in Asia Pacific, in Southeast Asia, in Africa, and in America, they ask the similar question: what guarantee or protection do you have? That's why we refer to SEDEX MATA, we refer to RBA, we also refer to SA 8000, cover both our PV and energy storage systems as a way as integrated package for ESG evaluation. I believe it works very well in terms of our sustainability solutions to our clients and investors. On the other side of this picture, it's important to highlight one critical part of the banking or financing community. So Jinko pays attention to developing, maintaining, exploring good relationship with not only the MDB FDIs, but also the commercial banks and other different financial institutions. One case that is very interesting to highlight is the collaboration with Standard Chartered Bank early this year, 2025. We offers our TOPCon solar modules together with the Starter Chandler Band, their first label climate adaptation guidance book, because our products and technology are labeled as sustainable and low carbon. So there has a win-win solution for our clients when they develop projects. I will not spend too much details on that, but it's a great example that a manufacturer is working with a commercial bank to trying to solve the sustainability and bankability issue in the way of solar project development. Last but not least is the very interesting chapter that I prepare to share with you. I guess some of you know already, some not. So it's a formal presentation here. Global Solar Council is a global non-profit organization. I believe JinkoSolar has established the relationship with the council since 2 years ago. So with all the members joining at the same platform, each different partners play as a different role. For Jinko as the manufacturer, we joined the different task force and leading as the chair of one task force called finance. So together with Vice Chair Trina Solar and all the members, which are very active at the task force, we successfully published the first solar bankability white paper in London Climate Week this summer. So this paper is called How to Finance Solar for All. I think it brings a good question mark in front of most of the audience today here. So if we do believe in solar and renewable energy, would that be a solution for us to find it out as a common way or common sense that almost everyone is satisfied with, to satisfy policymakers, project developers, manufacturers, suppliers, and every single smaller distributed players in the industry. So that brings a couple of the perspectives, not a perfect solution, but some slides for you to take a reflections. Important slides here is highlighted in this presentation. From the left, we identify a very interesting architecture flow. 3 different kinds of flows happens at the same time during the project development for a solar project, which are money flow, information flow, and product flow. I can give you an example. Since Trina and Jinko, we are a solar module manufacturer. Straightforward is that we receive money from our clients and we deliver products. So money flow and product flow are straightforward. However, information flow sometimes are invisible, but it's critical. That's why we have the presentation from Rachel. SSI contains critical information for ESG and sustainability, whereas we do not have the conversation or platform similar like today. We do expect that information flow can be exchanged and shared in a timely way. So that will help let's say, the partners for their due diligence to complete this in an effective and efficient way. So to the right side, you see we have a very beautiful 2 graphic. We categorize 2 different scenarios, one for big utility projects and the second one for distribution, let's say, commercial perspectives. For the first scenarios, if I may spend a couple of minutes to explain in details, we identify basically 3 big categories of activity players. One is financier, who brings the money on the table. 2 is the developer, who execute the projects. Last but not least, different varieties of suppliers, including solars, inverters, etc. In a way of supporting these projects to be completed, there are different phases of stage: fundraising, design selection, procurement, etc. We believe the arrow highlight in yellow represents the money flow. The arrow highlights in blue represent the goods flow, whereas we're missing is the one in gray, because those are linear conversation bilaterally between financial and developers and suppliers. The information platform, which carries important message, especially at the stage of design and selection, are missing. So while we suffer for a lot of misunderstanding, harmonized standards are critical to make it even more, let's say, efficient faster. So the conversation brings us to a nature stage of key recommendations. It's a collaborative joint efforts from our task members. So not only from Jinko, but also from the Global Solar Council Taskforce. We believe it's critical to have this following practice to be moved on and forward. The first one is public-private partnerships, highlighting the collaborations among public and private investors. We have the communications with multi-development banks. We believe some of the commercial banks will for sure take the following actions similar or same standard as the public ones. So such communication are critical. The second part is about equitable access. Information covering different geographies have an imbalanced development landscape, but that should be fixed and improved in the future as well. Platform building is extremely important. The enhanced platforms will give opportunities for solar investment actors to share information that amongst banks, financial institutions, associations, and manufacturers. Especially in this particular chapter, SSI is actually captured as the case study to be highlights for one successful case study for the multi-stakeholder platform. For the fourth and fifth one is straightforward as well, creating the intermediate for the dialogue facilitation and new applications to be included, for instance, energy storage, etc. So this is the highlights of the presentation for the white paper. The ESG topics that I present you from JinkoSolar is the current practices that we did. I believe it comes to the end of my presentation. As I promised to Michael, I will try to keep my presentation short and brief. And if any of the audience have any questions about Jinko, our activities about social responsibilities and traceability, please feel free to leave the message here in the chat box. Thank you.
Thanks,
Back to you,
Lynn.
Michael.
Well, great. So we continue our discussion later on the panel. So there was one question in the chat, I think, regarding the link to the paper. The presentations will be shared through our recordings on our YouTube channel, but just in case, maybe you can share. If there's any further question to Lynn, just please post it in the chat.